Hello everybody, this is Tim from Mainly Muscle Cars along with cameraman Ken, and today we're looking at another early Bronco. Really neat Bronco, perhaps one of the most capable Broncos out on the road that you can actually drive. Really neat truck. This one is actually in 2010. It drove to the Rubicon, did the Rubicon, and then drove back. Not many vehicles can do that and still look like a good vehicle. I mean, most of the time the sides are caved in, they're just destroyed. As you can see, this one, there's some scratches and dings, but I mean, overall, it's a good looking truck. Extremely capable vehicle. Underneath there, anybody who knows Broncos, you're going to see that long arm suspension from Duff there, so it has that long travel. You're also going to notice those Bilstein shocks in there. Those are external reservoir shocks. Things you find in very high-end vehicles, like the new Ford Raptor has that setup in it. And anytime you get in some serious off-roading where you need that extra fluid to get it done, those are what you need. It's got rock skis on it. Now those are fully braced. That's not just something that's tacked to the bottom of the truck. I mean, there's probably about 4 or 5 braces on each one. Really nice setup. Also, it has brand new 37-inch tires on it. Those are Dick C-Pecs. It has brand new wheels, matching full set, and they're all brand new, all 5. See this one mounted back here on the bumper. Really nice bumper. Tire basically pivots out of the way. Underneath that tire is that high lift jack, something that you definitely need if you're going to be out. Poking under there, if you take a look, you can see it actually has that big 23-gallon tank, because if you're going to be out, you're going to need some fuel. That standard, was it probably a 13-gallon tank or something dinky in back, isn't going to handle it. Also has the rock guards on the back quarters. Very common for the Broncos to have this back end injured. These units here, as you can see, it's been scuffed before, but it has saved the truck. So definitely, I mean, that's steel, so you're not going to hurt that. Of course, the wheel wells there cut, obviously. Again, you can see the rock ski on this side. Probably a little bit better view of that Bilstein shock from this angle here. Neat setup. Let's see, it has power steering, power front disc brakes. The engine is a fuel-injected 5-liter, and it has the overdrive automatic transmission. Runs excellent, extremely reliable. That's a stock motor. As far as powering this thing, it does fine. And if you're going to be out and about, that fuel injection will run at any angle. So really good setup to have in this one. Everything works, turn signals, wipers, fuel. It has the big winch on the front of it. Now this one is set up with a rope rather than the cable, and the rope is just extremely strong, and also it's very lightweight, so you can spool this in and out and it doesn't break and fray and isn't going to cut you like the steel wheel. You see the off-road lights on there, they're mounted up where they're going to be out of trouble, but you can use those. Those are actually hooked up on a solenoid. Basically, as soon as you hit the bright lights, those come on. So when you're out driving at night or in the dark, I mean, those things are easy to actuate. They're wired incorrectly, so you can run them. I drove it the other night. It was probably about 45 minutes, and I was out in country roads, and they were on and off, and they never flickered or did anything. They operated really nice. But Ken, if you kind of pop down a little bit here, take a look at this front steering. You can see there's a brace running from the passenger side frame rail to the bottom of that the driver's side of that power steering box. Now that's going to keep that from deflecting and bending that frame, and there's a lot of brackets that have been welded in there. So that steering box is extremely stable. Really good, because if you're going to go out and push this thing out on the highway, it doesn't wander on you like you would expect. It has a big heavy duty, some people call it, the rock steering. It's basically a heavy duty DOM tubing, and it doesn't deflect like the factory stuff. It has 1-ton ball joints on the end rather than a Heim joint, so it's just a lot smoother to drive on the road. I mean, this one is basically built to go anywhere and not have to leave your $50,000 truck and trailer sitting at a trailhead in the middle of nowhere. Just drive this truck, put your gear in back, drive to the trailhead, drive on the trail, and you're done. Really neat truck, but we'll go ahead and we'll jump in and we'll take a look at some different features inside. Oh. Again, getting in, Ken, you gotta wear these easy pants like me. Inside, the dash is in good condition. It's got a Kenwood CD player. You know, gauges, of course, under the dash here. Just is a lot easier to see those than it is up in the factory cluster. Auxiliary fan basically is set up right here because you've got one on the front and then standard fan on the back of the Radiator Standard Electric. Winch control here, you've got an on-off and you've got an in and an out right there. Tack, so basically everything you need to go out and have fun. Now this one does have a twin stick setup as well, and so just in case you are out and about on the trail, you happen to break a rear axle, you can actually disengage that rear axle and drive home on basically a front wheel drive vehicle. This thing has an emergency box in back. There's a toolbox behind the back seat. Really cool setup. It has an extra drive shaft in it. It has extra front axles in it. It has extra hubs. Basically every different relay and sender you could need for this truck. So very, very self-sufficient truck. As far as safety-wise, it has a very nice family cage in it. And it has nice seats. I mean, these things really do a good job holding you in. It's a stinking couch back there. So if you're going to bring passengers with you, they can actually do it and be comfortable. But a nice family cage so everybody's protected. Nice wiper cover up here set up so it will work without roll bar. A CB, just tons and tons of stuff. Again, it's just a stock 5-liter. It runs a 2-into-1 exhaust, which is kind of really nice. It's kind of good for all-around power-wise. Just a really neat truck. Nice B&M shifter on the floor. But you do get a lot of movement to the body when you're out driving it. It's kind of, if you're not used to that, it might be a little disconcerting. I'm used to Bronco, so it's perfectly homey to me. It feels good. Nice sound inside though. It's not a loud rig. You could easily drive this thing for hours on end and not have, you know, bleeding ears like you do in some of the Broncos. Transmission has a very nice shift to it, a good firm shift. You don't want to lazy shift in an automatic where it can build some RPM and stop slipping. So there's kind of a nice little growl to the idle. It's actually at a cruise, it's nice and quiet, especially when you click it into overdrive. You can cruise along. I've 65, 70, and it just kind of lopes right along with these big 37s in that overdrive. So it's a very, very easy rig to, you know, to live with. In fact, I plan on having this one out tomorrow. So, but we're not gonna really bother with the performance test in here. It's, you know, it powers the rig adequately, but it's just a 225 horse motor. Transmission does work nice. It's got a good oil pressure. We're driving along now. It's just shy of 60 pounds. Motor is coming up. As you can see, all the gauges work. CD player works. Has the auxiliary power set up. Just a lot of stuff. This is a very well thought out truck. It's been used, but it's been owned by you know, mature adults that basically kept this thing in good condition. That's why it has actually survived so well. It has original floor pans in it. So, I mean, it's never been a rusty truck. So, it's just a really good rig. But if you have any questions, please give us a call. Our phone number is 360-863-2241. Or you can visit us at our website at mainlymusclecars.com. I think we've got 6 or 7 different Broncos available. We have them anywhere from just, you know, relatively stock Broncos to extremely well-equipped ones like this. We have another fuel-injected 418 cubic inch Bronco with a 5-speed. That one has probably between 500 and 600 horsepower. So we've kind of got them all over. So give us a call or stop by the website, or heck, both. Thanks.